Welcome to another Threes and TDs. Today we're talking about the Carolina Panthers like we do every week. And we have some pressers, we have some things to talk about, we have some injuries to discuss. And we got to talk about whether these Carolina Panthers are going to be the same old Carolina Panthers since they've been since 2018, or if this is going to be different. So this week the Carolina Panthers are going off to Arizona. They're going to go off to Arizona to play Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals, who beat the New Orleans Saints, which is a wonderful thing. Anytime the Saints get beat, Carolina Panthers fans are incredibly excited. So, but yeah, lots to talk about today in today's episode of Threes and TDs. Let's get right to it. First thing I want to talk about, Xavier Legette. We need to have a conversation about Xavier, because if you look at the pass reps from last week, the concern to me is not that he didn't have a bunch of targets. The concern to me is not that he didn't catch the ball as much as we would want him to. The concern to me is two things. Number one, situational and football awareness. So when Bryce finds him on that pass, most wide receivers would drag their toe to snag the ball. He doesn't do that. Essentially what he does is he just assumes that he's in bounds. And then there's another play where he's just not giving. I saw another play that was posted on Twitter today where and once again, we don't know what all the plays are, but he's essentially running some kind of route, and he's not giving 100%. So to me, the more concerning things about Xavier's game is that there seems to be a lack of effort, and that's concerning because he was Dan Morgan's first pick of his tenure. Remember, they traded up. They traded with the Bills to essentially get Xavier, and it's been 1 year and one game. Let's put things in perspective. It's been 1 year and one game, but if you remember, there's three guys that are bunched up where they were drafted. Xavier Legette, who got drafted by the Carolina Panthers, Ladd McConkey, who has been an absolute star, like just an absolute star. So there's him. And you have, who's the third guy that I'm forgetting the name of? And then Keon Coleman as well. And Keon Coleman last night in the Bills game got targeted 9 or 10 times. It's only been one game, but Xavier's always going to get compared to those other two guys. That's just, when you get drafted at the same position next to those other players, there's going to be comparisons that arise. Like that's just life. You can't shy away from that. And I'm not saying that Keon had a better rookie season than Xavier, but Keon got targeted 10 games on Sunday night. And Xavier is going to have to start putting good games together, or it's going to be an issue for him. There were people saying that Jalen Coker was the number 2 over Xavier, and I was like, Xavier's going to have to show them that that's not the case. He hasn't done that. And so we need a really big game out of him in Arizona. Tedro McMillan is everything that we wanted. He's a true X. He's going to be phenomenal. His contested catch radius is insane. But for this team everybody was talking about this team winning 8, 9, some people even 10 games. For that to happen, this offense needs to carry this team. And scoring 10 points against a mediocre Jacksonville team is just not going to cut it. That's just not good enough to win in this league, especially when you've allocated so many resources on the offensive side of things. Your offense. Think about all the money that was spent on that offensive line. Think about all the money that was spent on Damian Lewis coming a free agent that Seattle didn't re-sign. Think about all that money that was spent on Robert Hunt from the Dolphins. Like, think about all of the allocation that's been spent to the wide receiver room and the running back room with Jonathan Brooks. That didn't work out, obviously, but he's going to come back and hopefully he's going to be good next year. But there is so much allocation to the offensive side of the ball. You have to be able to score at least 24 points, probably closer to 27 to 30 to win. 10 points isn't going to cut it. So, I don't know. I really do need Xavier to start proving some people wrong when it comes to this. And look, essentially, this is his second year. But I'm ready for him to assert himself as somebody that deserved to be traded for the last pick of the first round in the 2024 draft. And I don't think it's unfair to say that he has not lived up to that hype. He has not lived up to that potential. And so that's what I want. I want Xavier to really have a good showing this game. There were 3 or 4 other things I wanted to talk about, but that took up the whole time. So Xavier has to be better, and that's what I'm hoping for. I need him to have more situational awareness. There are some fans that are calling him Jonathan Mingo 2.0. I think that's really unfair. He's so much better than Jonathan in so many different ways, but he has to start playing well. And it starts this week at Arizona. All right, thank y'all for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, doing all that stuff. All that stuff helps the growth of the channel. So thank y'all for doing that on the shorts, on the long form video, and I'll see y'all in the next one tomorrow. Bye.